just following on from the theme of the picture that I shared this morning, there were some other dreams that I had about the qabalah after I finished the course. There was one that I was in my office where I normally worked, and I glanced over at a new member of the team who was working really hard on a project. And I walked over to him to see how he was getting on, and he showed me a painting that he was creating of the Tree of Life. In his painting, the uppermost sphere was called Sirius, but I looked at him and pointed to the top of the tree and said, Kita, and he smiled at me. And then I took the tree out of the office into the hallway, winked at him and said, you can't tell the people. It's interesting reflecting on that dream now, because in that dream, he was drawing the Tree of Life, but I have just drawn it or painted it, etc. Kita is the crown, which I talked about, I had another dream about in the previous video. What I didn't know at the time was that this phrase, you can't tell the people, was actually the title of a book by somebody called Georgina Bruni, which was about the Rendlesham Forest UFO mystery, where strange lights were seen over several nights by military staff at I think it was at a US airbase, but on a British soil in Suffolk. And the title of the book is taken from the author of that book having a conversation with Margaret Thatcher at a dinner. The author asked about UFOs and alien technology, to which Thatcher replied, you must get your facts right. So the author pushed and said, what facts? To which Thatcher replied, you must have the facts and you can't tell the people. Thatcher's personal assistant later wrote a letter to somebody who inquired about the meaning of this phrase and was told that it's a phrase that she uses very often, or used very often, and that the author had read too much into it on that occasion. Obviously, I don't know the truth of what went on there, but what I find really interesting is that I dreamt about that phrase before I'd come across the book. It was about at least a year, although it is entirely possible that I had come across the title subconsciously and not realised it. The star Sirius has come up in dreams before. It's the brightest star in the night sky. It's also known as the dog star because it's within Canis Major. And the rising of Sirius marked the flooding of the Nile in ancient Egypt. And apparently some authors have suggested that the root name of Sirius would have been Osiris. Although I'd also read that it was linked with Isis, but I guess those two are linked, so that makes sense.